Hey, what's up guys? It's your boy Speed here, and today we're back. And I'm very excited to talk about what we're going to talk about here today, because I think it's really powerful, it's really fun, and it's new. So without further ado, let's talk about Zeus support and why I think it's really powerful. Now, recently I played close qualifiers for ESL Bangkok. We played against Shopify Rebellion, took them to game 3 both times we played them. We unfortunately lost, and their position 5 player, I think he's ranked 4 or 5 in Europe, which is like 15k MMR, and he plays position 5 Zeus. He played it twice against us in qualifiers, in very important matches. So he thinks it's extremely good. And I love Zeus for a long time. His hero has incredible base stats, incredible laning as a support. It can deward hills. It can provide vision in team fights. It has good disengage, right? So it can scout areas because of Heavenly Jump. This hero just does a lot of good things as a support. It just makes sense. And so I'm going to talk about why this hero is good, what you need to do, the items, talents, so on and so forth, because I've learned a lot. I've played, I think, 2 or 3 games of Zeus. No, maybe 4 since I played against it. And I'm a huge believer now. I think this is definitely a hero that could be a future of the Pause 5. On top of that, go sign up to the Gamely website, guys. I'm posting new content over there almost every day, and I'll see you there. Starting off, you have one of the best level 1 abilities in the game. Arc Lightning is just incredibly strong in the early game. The reason why is it's very low mana for very high damage, especially if you hit multiple units with it, which is something you want to try to do. So, at the runes, you should be yelling at your team, go fight. In this game, I have very strong rune fighting heroes. Tusk is pretty good, Storm is quite good, Razor is solid with his Q, Alk has a stun. So I'm telling my team, fight, 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 follow me, follow me. You can see I'm drawing lines. I'm like, bro, come, bro, we're gonna kill them top. Like, we place wards bottom, we're gonna see if they go bottom unless they're smoked, and it's a pub, they're not gonna smoke. So fight breaks out, and immediately I'm like, ooh, grouped up heroes. And even though this fight starts in a pretty bad way, like my Alk didn't even get his stun off, the Luna dies. This Grim, he gets to use a strongman tonic because, I mean, not Grim. Ringmaster gets to use strongman tonic, but we're beating butt here. We're destroying. I mean, I am pumping damage. As I said, this fight started with our Alk getting gone on. Usually, when a fight starts like this, First Blood starts like this, where one of your teammates is dying from full, you just give it up a lot of the time. But with Zeus, you don't have to. We're able to actually chunk down the Luna, chase on. It actually keeps going. I even wussed out a bit. I could have been way more Chad. And me and my Tusk get 4 kills. I think Tusk ends up... No, Tusk backs off and he TBs out. And in this position, what you actually want to do, so after the rune fight, once the rune fight is over, if you're completely out of mana, I actually think the best play is to just go kill yourself. I probably shouldn't have dragged the wave like that. That was probably cringe. Maybe it messed up the storm. I don't know. It's probably fine. But yeah, I just go die to the tier 2. It splits a bit of a shared bounty, but that's totally fine because I don't want to have to use the remainder of my regen to go back to the lane. So that's the first thing. Your rune fight potential, completely OP. And also, let's quickly talk about starting items. 3 mangoes, branches, blood grenade, tangos. Now in the lane, for your first few items, I bought more mangoes because I got an early kill. I'm going to buy a Null Talisman as my first item. That's if I get kills. If I don't get kills, I'm going to buy a second set of tangos, an extra mango, a clarity, and a sentry. Right, I'm going to buy kind of more of the normal regen items. I'm not going to rush some big item. But if you get these big few kills, right, I have a kill and assist, my net worth is, it's actually not that high. I guess it's because of the mangoes. Probably because I've been eating the mangoes. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, let's get into trading now. So your hero completely outtrades any melee hero. Almost any melee hero gets destroyed. And it mainly comes down to your facet live wire and your innate static field. So basically, if people are close to you, you deal 4% of their max health as damage, or sorry, their current health, not max health. So the lower they are, the less damage you deal with this. And this counts on auto attacks. A lot of people don't know that. It counts on as auto attacks. And so when you right click people, you're just dealing a percentage of their health. So this auto attack, as I get close to him, I mean, look at that. 1 hit and 1 nuke just removes this Nyx's health. Now, to be fair, this is one of the lowest HP heroes in the game when it buys no stats. I mean, it is definitely making it look better than it is. But to be fair, if it's against a high HP hero, maybe it's something like Tusk with a bunch of stats, then your live wire and your static field are better, right? They actually will deal more damage. And because this lane is so easy, I'm kind of playing like a psycho. This is going to be a lane where I'm sort of just being almost a dumbass, right? I'm ignoring this Nyx. He has boots. He's going to run away from me. I'm like running across to the to the Mars. My Alk's throwing a stun at him to help me, which is really good. They're like sort of going on me, but I know it's fake. as I hit level 2 early. This is because of the first blood, and I thought we were going to be able to get a kill. This Heavenly Jump is a 1.6 second, 80% slow, and attack speed slow. It's actually something I forget sometimes, but if someone's manning up to you, or someone's killing your teammate, you can jump to just make them stop attacking, essentially. And so as I hit level 2 here, I'm like, oh shit, I'm a really fast 2 because of those rune kills, right? So big slow to keep him in the acid. He hit a good rebuke, unfortunately. And of course, you're going to feed people stick charges. Any good player is going to buy stick against you, but most players are frankly going to kind of forget. They're not going to realize you're pause 5. They're not going to be buying stick against you. Should you? Yes, you should buy stick against pause 5 Zeus. Honestly, if they do, you can skill lightning bolt. It's like a decent option. But I think arc lightning, it's actually more damage per mana than lightning bolt. It can hit multiple units. It's way better at the rune fight. So I think like in general, it's not even a question to me which one's better at level 1. It's arc lightning. It's just way too good for chatting up. So yeah, I kind of run out of mana here, and typically what I like to do is I like to expend all my mana in the first few waves, really just kind of pump out that damage, get it going, and then when they're low and these camps start to spawn, right, as this large camp opens up, I can either go unblock the small and they can't contest because they're going to be low. I can pull this if it just happened to spawn. I can pull this if it's spawned. Right, because you're going to naturally be winning a lot of these trades, you can pull and you can pop your clarity, right? I'm always going to buy a clarity in my first courier. It's going to be tangos and a clarity, maybe a sentry as well, right? And this clarity, I'm going to pop it because I'm going to push them away. I'm going to lower them. I'm going to open the pull camps, and that's when I'm going to pop my clarity. So I get the majority of the value out of this clarity as I man up to the Mars. Thought we were going to be able to get a kill. Maybe Al could have thrown a stun faster or whatever. But yeah, I mean, your base stats are just ridiculous. Like, look at my damage, my armor, and my movement speed. 315 movement speed. Zeus is fast AF. I mean, this hero zooms. It's more than a Windlace faster than Crystal Maiden. It's nearly Boots movement speed faster than Crystal Maiden. And so a lot of melee heroes, you can kind of just chase them down as I just walk down this Mars. I think he had a wand, but maybe he assumed he was dead or he just didn't think he needed it. But yeah, I easily kill off the Mars. And the big thing here that even though I'm using a lot of regen in my net worth, it's not going to look that good, right? Because I'm buying so many clarities and mangoes and tangos. I'm like ripping into regen. I'm kind of destroying my net worth by doing this. The big thing here is Alk is complete free farm. Yes, it's Alchemist, I know. But the Mars is absolutely poor because of how much pressure I'm putting. And now Nyx's Mars is a terrible lane. Like, just to be clear, this is one of the worst possible lanes if they don't drag. They have to drag waves like this to play. But still, you are nasty. I've played against plenty of lanes now, guys. Ranged lanes, double melee, double range. You're fine to absolutely everything, right? Can you dumpster every lane? No, you can't. But you are really good in every lane, like super solid. Another thing that I like to do that might be a little suspect, and I probably regret it, I actually wish that instead of, for my next items, I bought a full wand. I think this is a mistake, and it's me being kind of lazy. I would rather just kind of buy more regen, to be perfectly honest. I think the purpose of my hero, again, is to just dominate these early levels, and Magic Wand is just not an item to do that. Stick is, I just think it would have been nicer if I just had a clarity going. I pop my tango and I'm chilling, you know what I mean? But instead, I like super greed on my items, and now in this engagement, I almost decided, I literally told my Alk on mic here, I'm like, I just want to die, because I didn't want to use my tango or my mango, and I had these items in base. Thankfully, we got a kill out of it, which is kind of stupid. But yeah, I mean, I don't mind that play because, again, like, I feed away some gold and this Nyx is, like, decently farmed. But now, I didn't have to use any of my regen. I didn't have to buy any regen, and I'm back to lane. Unfortunately, again, this Mars kind of gets away from our go. But yeah, I don't know, it's kind of nice. I'm not gonna lie, maybe I don't regret that. Like, in hindsight, because now I'm just this Giga Chat. Like, I'm just standing here, I'm like, frick your creeps. Did I? I got 74 damage. Level 3, 74 damage. Oh, you can stack the back camps very easily. Boom, Alchemist. I'm gonna be super happy. Another thing I can do is I can gate, which I do soon. I decided to keep fighting this Mars as we make a go attempt on him here. Finally, he missed the spear. So we're able to get a nice kill attempt, and boom, this guy's just dead from like full health. This Alk Zeus lane is like SS tier currently. I'm 100% certain of that. For my next items, I go raindrops, Windlace, and clarity. I think this is better than boots. I sacrifice a bit of movement speed, but I get the sustain from the raindrops as I make another stack here. Do these both stack? Yeah, why did that wolf turn around? Whatever. I just think that these small items like the raindrops, Windlace, clarity is like about the same cost. I think it is almost the same cost as boots. and it just gives you more. Like, it just lets you do a bit more and stay on the map. And you need to spam clarities on this hero. Unfortunately, I gated here, but they had a ward on the gate, so they saw me coming. So they were able to read my movement. Otherwise, I'm sure I would have killed them. But they were hiding because, well, they knew I was here. And then this Luna makes this really funny play to beam me on the high ground. I'm like, oh. Oh, you have a ward. Okay. Which I could have bolted, I forget. I'm not good enough at Zeus yet. I mean, to be fair, I don't really want to use my mana yet. It's like a little, your mana pool is a little fragile still. And it always kind of will be on support Zeus until like super late game. But yeah, in these early fights, you're just strong. Like, you're just strong. I'm very tanky because I have these raindrops, which is why I buy them instead of the boots here. The raindrops are just way better in these early engagements, right? Because I already got a tick of the block. I might get another tick here if I get lucky. Oh yeah, I got it on the Nyx W there. Like, that's what I mean. Raindrops are just so overpowered. Like, yeah, it's a consumable. Yeah, you lose them. That's the downside. But in these early fights, it just makes such a difference. Like, the fact that I just got to get off an extra Q here, right? I mean, it makes a difference. Helps us kill the Nyx faster. I mean, you never know, right? And we're so dominant in these early fights. I think my Razor is able to get another kill here, even though he pathed the wrong way. Oh no, my Tusk got another kill. So it was a really good, I mean, that's super good. 3 for 2, and their mid was there and my mid wasn't there, is like super good. And so Zeus in these early fights is really, really strong. There's a lot of things you can do progressing into the mid game. So I come mid here to contest the rune. I didn't know if they had a hill ward, so boom, lightning bolt on the hill. It has a pretty big radius, honestly, so I'm just kind of checking for any of these wards. If you bolt here, it checks this hill ward, it checks this ward, this ward, this ward, right? So this bolt right here is really good. The bolt right here is really good. You can bolt like more in the river if you want to scout for this hill ward, right? So, and another thing you can do as well, guys, that I didn't even mention, in the laning stage, if you have extra mana for some reason, even level 1, you can bolt your small camp right in the back here and de-ward their ward. You don't have to buy a sentry. So you can buy a Clarity instead, which is kind of a cool concept I thought about, which is skilling Lightning Bolt level 1 and buying a Clarity instead of sentries and using that to unblock the small, just continuously bolting. Because yeah, a Clarity gives, if you get the max value, about 300 mana, I believe. It's of course way more value than a sentry if you're getting to use 2 or 3 bolts from a Clarity. But yeah, look at this solo kill. Just walk this guy down. I don't know why it's so funny, just like solo killing Nyx is just crazy. And we got a lot of value there. I mean, they took so much to kill me as well. Unfortunately, we kind of get counter ganked. And naturally in team fights as well, your hero just does a ton. My Razor ended up getting ganked here. They go in and we hit a nice 2-man Q to start, pop the raindrops. My Razor is able to hit, good amount of spells here. Lightning bolt onto the Nyx. This ability level 1 is 140 damage, kind of crazy. And there is a skill build where you max the W. I'm not going to cover it right now. But that is definitely an option. Basically, if your game is bad, I think maxing W is good. But yeah, in this fight, I actually do run out of mana, which is kind of an issue on this hero. Again, you need to just spam everything mana. You need to be spamming clarities. I have raindrops, I have a null, I took jelly, arcane ring, jelly. I would not suggest taking the HP items on this hero, even though they do feel nice. And if you get no mana item, you should take a regen item. But arcane ring, royal jelly, that's what I'm gonna aim for, those 2 items. Just so in the fight, I had to pop my wand here just to use my ult, but whatever, kill off the Nyx. Barely out of mana to just kill off that Invoker, but we do get him in the end. And ends up being, again, a really good fight. Considering they brought more heroes than us, trading 2 for 2 is more than great, right? Super happy about this engagement. And look, all the meanwhile, my Alk is ignored. We are creating so much pressure with this move, the gate move, this rune move. Because Zeus is so good at this point in the game, we're putting so much pressure on the map. My Alk is completely ignored. He has a 12-minute Radiance blink, which is unbelievable. I mean, this is like elite timing. Not to like toot my own horn, but I would say most of it is from my gameplay. Obviously, he has to be good enough to make that happen, to know his farming patterns, but like the amount of space he had is because of, I would say, primarily my hero this game. And then you know what happens when you give your carry a lot of space? Your Tusk fucks up a gank, your Alk follows it, and they die under the tier 2, and all your net worth lead you fought tooth and nail to gain is completely thrown away. It's just day in the life of a pos 5. You grind your ass off, and then your free farm carry just kills himself. Nah, I'm kidding. I'm kidding, but I'm kind of not kidding. That was like so depressing. I'm like, all of this work for my 12-minute blink radiance to die under the tier 2. No. So for items, couple things that I dislike that I did. I took the mana regen, which I think most games you should take the mana regen, even on support. Health is a nasty good talent, and I wish I took it this game just because they have Nyx Assassin. It's also good against Mars. Like, these two heroes counter Zeus because he can't jump out of arena, and Nyx just one-shots you because you have a lot of mana. So, or int, or whatever. So I wish I took the health this game for that reason, but I think in most games it's just better to have mana regen so you can feel better about bolting hills, because once you hit the mid game, I didn't even show this off well enough. Like, when I played against Skem in the qualifier matches, who again he's like rank 4. This guy was dewarding the hell out of me. Now Zeus is completely cheating on dewards because you just have basically infinite sentries. They're weaker than a sentry. The bolt is less range by quite a bit, but still, I mean, it was impossible to ward. When we were losing the game, like at points, we won against the Zeus once and lost against him once. In the game where I lost, like, I couldn't ward. Like, I could not ward. Everything was getting checked. Everything was getting checked. And if you get optimized at this shit, you just check everything. And this is a funny clip coming up here. So they have a Nyx, and against like Bounty and Ricky, it's the same thing. Oh, so yeah, I mean, even here, just to show it off, like, I'll start bolting random areas, like, just to check if they have a ward. I'll just toss out a bolt. I think I do it on this hill here, just in case. In a second, yeah, I bolt over there. I bolt on the hill. No, okay, I bolted here. Part of me is just checking for Nyx, right? A lot of these times. Also, you shove waves. A nice thing about Zeus support too is you just farm waves really fast. And I can't stress how good I think this hero is a 5. Like, the fact that you can farm, you can even make stacks for yourself and take them if truly is nothing is happening. I don't suggest doing that, but you can do that. And yeah, I mean, in this team fight, we're gonna pump out a lot of damage. I mean, at this point of the game, I buy a Solar. I love Solar on this hero. Gives you a nice mana pool, some armor you lack, stats, movement speed. I mean, the cast range is great. It doesn't cost that much mana. Oh, that is buggy. Yeah, it's just such a good item on this hero. So I love buying Solar. It kind of just makes me tanky against my counter matchups too, which is, again, why I wish I took the health. I wish I bought Solar, took the health, and then stayed out of the one-shot range of Nyx. And then my next item I wish was Glimmer. I bought Aether, and I'm dying the Nyx a bit. I think he kills me once, but once is too much for me. But yeah, we put the Solar on our Razor or our Alk this game. These are very low armor, right-click based heroes. So Solar is stupid good with Alk and Razor because they are naturally low armor, so it's even better. It's good on all carries, but it's particularly good with heroes that also like the 5 armor. Here's the thing about Aether. I love Aether, guys. Why? At this point of the game, it's not actually synergistic with Livewire, which is why I've actually considered not taking Livewire, because how Zeus works is if you take Divine Rampage, then the static field eventually becomes 4% flat, which is kind of nice, right? So eventually, like later into the game, no matter what you nuke them, it's 4%. Where if you take Livewire, if you get really far away, it actually makes it less damage, which is kind of sad. It makes it a ton of damage if you're close, and that's why the Aether Lens is sus with Livewire. Livewire is nice in the lane because it makes the trading, your right clicks, deal a ton of damage. That's why I think it is better. It's much, much better in the early game where you're kind of just barrel stuffing people with your Q. But as the game progresses, if you buy Aether, the other facet is better. I still think Aether is good, even with Livewire, even though it's a bit anti-synergy, strictly for the reason that, like, if I want to check hills, for instance, I don't know if I'm checking here, but with Aether, you can bolt. Like, let's say I want to check this hill. I can bolt here from, like, here. And I can bolt and check hill wards without being in vision of the hill ward, which is, like, super great because it keeps you very safe and can stop your team from running up stupid hills without checking the hill or having to check the hill with a sentry that's going to make you get bursted by some Mars. You see what I'm saying? So Aether Lens has this really cool interaction, which is super practical. It's not a joke at all or a meme. So I like it for that. But this is a great game to have Glimmer health talent and just be able to kind of walk in and, again, with the Livewire, which at this point is almost maxed out, to just barrel stuff people. Because that is how you deal damage. You can take, and I am considering taking the health more, just taking the health and kind of just getting into the fight, not really playing a backline Zeus, kind of just getting in there, getting my spells off, a bunch of Qs, and then dying is fine because of this facet. I mean, it is literally more than three times as good if you are melee range than if you are max range. And so yeah, as the game progresses for a couple talents, I take the Thunder God's Wrath at 15, it's just solid damage in the fights. At level 20, I think Lightning Bolt Mini Stun is better. It's actually quite an increase to the stun. It's actually very noticeable. And if you buy Ags, which is my next item, you can stun people for, frankly, a good amount of time. It becomes a 0.85 second stun, and then the Ags is another 0.85 second stun, which is great, right? It's 1.6 second stun. I mean, it's no joke. In the late game, that sets up for a lot of my heroes, for my Storm W, for my Alk stun, these slightly delayed stuns, right? Like Storm and like Alk and even like Tusk at times. It is nice. It's a nice instant initial high range stun. So yeah, my Alk gave it to me this game too, which I guess is an option. So I queue up the refresher. I'm like, frick it. Did I get to the refresher this game? I think I was close. I think I did. Oh yeah, I did get to it. But all right, that's going to be all. Thank you guys so much for watching. Yeah, I really believe in this strategy or this hero. It's something fun and super legit. So thought I'd bring it to you guys here today. I'll see you next one, and I'm out.
And that's all, but remember, before you leave, before you tune out, subscribe to the Game Leap website, where we are going to help you get to the next rank. If you're stuck, click the link down below, and I'm out. Peace!